How to find financial confidence in uncertain times. If you're following the news, then it's easy to feel uncertain, especially about your finances today. This could be due to high inflation rates or simply uncertainty about whether you will keep your job. I hear you, and I've been there. During the pandemic, I faced a layoff of my own. So let's talk about how to prepare for and weather financial uncertainty. The first step is to distinguish between real and present fears and things we're just worried might happen in the future. The saying goes, it doesn't make sense to worry twice. So let's start by focusing on challenges we may actually be facing in the present. And as we do this, it's helpful to remember the truth that setbacks are setups for our future success. In my own case, being laid off allowed me the freedom to complete my doctoral dissertation, to write The Black Girl's Guide to Financial Freedom, and to travel and enjoy a bit of a break from the working world. So if you're going through a very real challenge right now, it's okay to be upset. But once you get through being upset, I want you to think about how you're going to use this challenge to set you up for even greater success in the future. Next, it's time to plan. If you're like me, you don't come from a family with lots of money or a built-in social safety net, so you've got to build your own. There are a couple of important ways to do this. The most important is to start building a little savings nest egg, something called an emergency fund that you can rely on if your everyday source of income falls out. A good goal is to keep 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses in that account. And if you're especially worried about some impending financial shift, then keeping 12 months of savings is a good goal. And remember, these are savings for your bare bones expenses, the things that you cannot live without if you lost your job tomorrow. Another part of our safety net is strengthening our relationships. Remember that opportunities come through people. Who are your people? Who are your friends? Who are your colleagues who you can pick up the phone and call if you needed something tomorrow? These are the relationships we've been building over time, and the research shows that it doesn't have to be really strong ties. Instead, something called weak ties, folks that you know by name who would pick up the phone if you called, but maybe they're not your bestie. Those are the folks who typically show up in our times of need. So whether we're in a state of uncertainty or not, continuing to network, continuing to build a reputation for yourself in your career is going to be important to you in the long term. Next is to create a plan. I like to plan for not needing to have my job in the long term. This means that if I lost my job at any point in the future, I know that I'm already set. The way to do this is by building what I call a job freedom fund. After your emergency fund is built, think about how much money you would need to have saved up in order to give you the maximum flexibility to take a break from work, to quit if your job is no longer serving you, and to take time to find the next best position. Once you come up with that number, that becomes your second savings goal. Another common approach is to build a second or third stream of income. Now, I'm not a fan of the hustle and grind mentality, so I'm not meaning a second or a third job. What I do mean is to be smart about taking advantage of opportunities that may arise. For example, I recently moved into a new home and I ran the numbers, and it made sense to turn my prior home into a rental property because the rent would cover the mortgage as well as maintenance expenses. I used that opportunity to become a landlord, and now I have a second form of income in the form of rent. The second aspect of planning is to actually anticipate your success. Let's assume that everything's gonna go right, that you won't lose your job, that you won't have an emergency that depletes your emergency fund, and perhaps some amazing opportunity is just around the corner, the thing you've been waiting for. The question I want you to ask yourself is, what do you need to do today to be prepared for that opportunity tomorrow? It's been said that the definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So I want you to get prepared for whatever great thing might be just beyond the horizon. So write the book, launch the business plan, open the shop. Whatever your vision is, I want you to start taking action today toward making that vision a reality. And along the way, I want you to continue to get educated about the financial world. There's so much misinformation and folks stoking your fears to make money. Once once you really understand how finances work, you might start to realize the opportunity that comes in times of financial uncertainty. When the stock market takes a dive, that means there are plenty of stocks on sale at bargain low prices for you to scoop up. And many a real estate mogul has scooped up properties when the housing market takes a turn. In summary, first, distinguish between reality and unfounded fears. Second, deal with what's right in front of you. Do you need to be preparing to weather a financial storm of your own, quickly building your emergency fund? Or are we planning for the future and building a job freedom fund to give you the freedom you need when you want it? Next, get clear on what you want to be true in the best case scenario and start executing a step-by-step plan to make your dreams a reality. Know that whenever challenges come today, there's opportunity on the other side of it, and I want you to be ready for it. The worst thing you can do is be scared into inaction. If you're experiencing financial uncertainty today, let that be a signal that it's time to do something about it and follow the tips that we've discussed today. And if you are a woman of color looking to build a smart step-by-step plan to get you to financial freedom, applications are now open for the Financial Freedom Accelerator, and I would love to partner with you on your journey. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, my name is Dr. Paris Woods, and I help women of color achieve financial freedom.